Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events from around the world. We've got a fascinating story to kick off our show, coming out of Central America, where Costa Rica has just elected a new president. Laura Fernandez, the candidate from the ruling party, has won a landslide victory in the first round of voting, capturing nearly 49% of the vote. Her promise to crack down on soaring drug violence and crime resonated with voters, who are looking for a solution to the country's growing security problems. Fernandez, who is just 39 years old, has built her career as a political advisor and civil servant, and has been a key figure in the current government. She's known for her strong support of outgoing President Rodrigo Chaves, and has vowed to continue his populist policies, including constitutional reforms and the suspension of civil liberties to fight crime. Her critics have accused her of being a puppet for Chaves, but Fernandez has promised to bring about a new era of politics in Costa Rica, saying that the country is entering a new political era, which she calls the Third Republic. It's worth noting that Fernandez has also spoken about her admiration for El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele, who has taken a hard-line approach to crime and gangs. She's promised to enact states of emergency in high-crime areas, which would limit civil liberties, and has vowed to finish building a high-security penitentiary modeled after El Salvador's Ceasefire mega prison. As we look at the implications of this election, it's clear that Costa Rica is at a crossroads. The country is facing significant challenges, from rising crime rates to economic uncertainty, and Fernandez will have to navigate these complex issues as she takes office. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments in Costa Rica and exploring the potential impact of this election on the region. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the latest developments in the Middle East, where a significant step has been taken towards implementing a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. The Rafah border crossing with Egypt has reopened for limited traffic, allowing a small number of Palestinians to travel in and out of Gaza. According to reports, 50 Palestinians will be allowed to cross in each direction on the first day, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stating that 50 patients a day will be permitted to leave for medical care, accompanied by 2 relatives. This move is seen as a crucial step towards easing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where thousands of people are in need of medical attention. The crossing was seized by Israeli troops in May 2024 as part of efforts to combat arms smuggling, but its reopening has been a key condition of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement. Egypt has emphasized the importance of allowing Palestinians to enter and exit Gaza freely, while Israel will work with Egyptian authorities to vet individuals seeking to cross. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to acknowledge the complexities and challenges involved in implementing this ceasefire. The international community is watching closely, and the success of this agreement will depend on the cooperation and commitment of all parties involved. It's also worth noting that the reopening of the Rafah crossing is just one part of a broader agreement, which includes the exchange of hostages, increased humanitarian aid, and plans for rebuilding and governance in Gaza. The road ahead will undoubtedly be long and difficult, but this development offers a glimmer of hope for the people affected by the conflict. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Reports have emerged that Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has been in talks with his Turkish, Egyptian, and Saudi counterparts, pushing for diplomacy to defuse the escalating situation. This comes after Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned that any U.S. attack would trigger a regional war. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump's senior envoy, Steve Witkoff, is set to visit Israel, meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other top officials. The trip is seen as preparatory ahead of potential talks between the U.S. and Iran, which have signaled readiness to revive diplomacy over their long-running nuclear dispute. It's worth noting that the European Union has listed the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organization, prompting Iranian lawmakers to retaliate by designating European armies as terrorist groups. The situation remains complex, with thousands of deaths reported during recent protests in Iran and a significant military buildup by the U.S. near the country. As we strive to provide balanced coverage, it's essential to acknowledge the various perspectives at play. While some argue that diplomatic efforts are crucial to preventing further escalation, others believe that a tougher stance is necessary to address concerns over Iran's nuclear program. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.